years to kind of walk through.
Absolutely. Well, we want to welcome the Chaos Divers here on the air with us. Thank you so much for joining us live here.
They are the superstars.
Absolutely.
Hey, there they are. Yeah.
Nice.
So, hey guys. So this is Jacob and Lindsay, and welcome you guys. Thank you for being here with me virtually. But so what two amazing, and Mike I'm guessing is not joining us this morning. If he's
No, he's unable to this morning.
no problem. We want to make sure that we acknowledge him too. And
Absolutely.
these two people right here, what amazing, superstars beyond heroes. And so do you guys want to just introduce, I guess, kind of who you are and a little bit about you, and then maybe we'll get into a little bit about what happened a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, so my name is Jacob Grubbs. I'm with Chaos Divers Search and Recovery Dive Group. We travel the country in hopes in trying to bring answers to families that haven't had them for years and stuff like that. I do own the company, and
I'm Lindsay Busick. I'm the manager of Chaos Divers. Jacob and I are also both divers, as well as, reading the sonar. In our abilities, we're able to kind of come in and perform the job from start to finish. We're able to locate the vehicles, as well as remove and dive and take care of all of that.
Yeah, so you guys, I know that we were connected to you by one of our retired officers, Mike Goff. Mm-hmm. And so, I saw Mike. I've worked with Mike my entire career. He retired, I want to say, maybe 10 years ago or something like that. So when I saw him at the command post, I was kind of like, oh, okay, hey, Mike. And I was just thinking, well, he's a retired guy and he's hanging out, because some of these guys do. But then I realized the connection when somebody said it to me. And so, I want to thank, Mike for his, interest in the case and then reaching out to you guys, because I think it's, as we talked about a lot, things happen for a reason, and people are brought together, I think in the right time, in the right place, and for something really good. And so, I guess, maybe we could walk a little bit through, your process and your thoughts that day. And really it's your time. I wanted to make sure that we, first thank you publicly and say, how wonderful and amazing you guys are. You're beyond great people. I mean, you guys do this, and you do it for no other reason because you want to help families, and that that selfless, I'm going to do this to really truly help a family. You don't meet a lot of people like that, right? And so you just have they had just great energy, right? When they were in they just meshed with us, and it was just like, they probably thought, they were like, is this like a real police department, right? Like, who are these? What's going on? So yeah, I wanted to just make sure that we publicly say thank you and acknowledge you. And, but yeah, maybe talk a little bit about that day and kind of the experience. And, if people do want to call in with any questions, I don't know if you guys would want to take questions. It just depends. But
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, please, it's all you guys.
we're here for you, Chief Nellie. So I want to say, first of all, we've never been treated as well as we have and welcomed in as we have, from the Elgin Police Department, the fire department. Everybody involved was just incredible. I'll let Lindsay talk about the rest.
Yeah. So obviously, first and foremost, thank you to the family for allowing us to have this opportunity to help them. Chief Lally, you have incredible officers, and I think that that's due to your leadership.
Thank you.
The people under you, they respect you, so they respect others, and it was incredible. From the moment that we first talked with Mike, and he got everything connected, and then, and talking with Andrew and Matt, the two detectives for your cold case unit, over the last several months, even that first conversation, it was like things just flowed and everything felt right. And getting there Monday morning to the command post, we had discussed prior what we kind of wanted to do as far as a plan. We wanted to knock out the Fox River first, with it being the largest body of water. We wanted to kind of chip that away and get it done. We did have plans. We knew we wanted to search, from point A to point B, and then, get out of the water and put in from B to C. we actually had a lot of the Fox River that we wanted to cover. In that process, we put in at Slade Boat Ramp. We knew that the fire department and their rescue team was going to be stationed down by Gale Borden Library. In the event something did happen, they were already ready and set to go. Monday morning, there was a lot of just kind of getting more familiar with Karen's case and getting to spend that time with Detective Houghton and Detective Vartanian was really awesome, because I felt like we really got the opportunity to know Karen, not just through the podcast, but through their eyes in person. So that was a connection that we don't always get to the person who is missing, to the victim. So, getting to spend that time with them, getting to know them a little more, and to allow them to see the process of what goes into all of this was really great for us. So, and they were very eager to learn and ask questions and what about this and what about this, but also they respected us and our space and what we do. And that was amazing. So I remember when we came upon our first vehicle on Monday, and Mike dove in on that vehicle. We had it marked. He dove on it, and he came up with this like kind of square rectangular headlight. And we all kind of were, is this it? Because that headlight shape would have matched Karen's vehicle. So there was a lot of like, okay, what are we doing here? So we decided to go ahead and dive the other car that we had located while we were looking at part numbers and things like that. What would this headlight go to? The other vehicle that we found was so dilapidated that Mike is pretty sure it was a truck. The visibility was pretty much nothing, maybe 4 to 6 inches at best. So we knew that wasn't our target. Mike actually went back to that first vehicle that he dove, and he dove on it 2 or 3 more times, pulling parts up because it was just in pieces. And then he finally came up with a gas cap, and it was round and it was plastic. So we knew then this is not what we're looking for. So we actually at that point chose to continue going north. In that process, we got up past 90. We were at about 1.5 to 2 feet of water. We were getting, bogged down. We made it as far as we possibly could. We made it almost to that bridge in East Dundee, which was our kind of goal. That was kind of our set point. We knew we wanted to make it here because there's so many roads that dead end right into the water there. We knew that we had the option for the little buddy, the sonar boat. If we couldn't make it all the way up there, that we could always just drive up there and then put the little buddy in, which is that little remote control boat, has the same sonar as the boat, and scan that portion of the river.
It's a beautiful river, but it is super, super, super shallow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very, very shallow.
Yeah. And I was telling earlier, like a couple of weeks ago, in the summertime, a little bit south of where you guys were at, I was on the bike path, and you literally could walk from one side to the other side of the river. That's how shallow it gets sometimes.
It's so crazy that, when we were going back through, we put the sonars back in the water. We were wanting to check that first vehicle that we had found again, check that second one, knowing that there's 2 cars in one spot. That's either a dumping location or an accident location. So Jacob, he's like, well, let's put the sonars. I just want to check this again. I just want to check it again. So it's so weird that this river is so shallow north of her and south of her vehicle, and she ended in this one deep pocket. I'm not a big believer in coincidences. I think everything happens for a reason. So for that, I don't know what part that plays, but it happened. And going back through, there was something on our sonar. We were seeing something. We kept going back over it. If you, on our video, we show a map of what we did, and it shows all of our little tracks. I mean, it looks like a plate of spaghetti, just all of these zigzag lines in this one little spot, until finally Jacob went over it at just the perfect angle, and there was a vehicle upside down. Mike got dressed again. Each time extremely willing to get into that 41-degree water, I think it was, but he had no issues with getting in there and getting it done. I remember when he came up with the plate, it was actually upside down and backwards to us. I remember seeing the XP on it, and as soon as I saw the XP, I didn't need to know any other numbers. I knew right then that was hers. I think Matt and Andrew both saw like the 9s on the plate and were like, "This is it." And I remember even watching the detectives, even the weight lift off of them, which is something that we often see with, the families when you tell them like, "Hey, we've found your loved one," and you get this sense of relief. But I even saw it come off your detectives, which again, just kind of even more tells us that they're doing this like we're doing this. You do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And it was
You can tell they were there for the right reasons.
It was an incredible moment. At that point in time, as soon as we saw that plate, there was something, even knowing that back window was broken, there was something in me that told me she's in there and she's coming home. So it was an incredible moment, especially get to spend that with them. To be able to do this with them on their very first cold case was also incredible. Kind of felt like we got to be a part of, their building blocks of this cold case unit. So to be able to do that, with them and for the family, I think it was yesterday when I told Matt that this will definitely go down as one of my most memorable recoveries in good, positive ways.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the thing too is like if Jacob, if you didn't go back, because you guys passed it, then you come back because you just kind of have this feeling, right? Like this could have ended very differently, because eventually we would probably move down to other bodies of water. And, I think like just that, knowing that something is drawing you there. And again, believe, whatever people's faith are, whatever they believe in the world, I think that in itself is just kind of like, this stuff never happens. A lot of people have talked to me about it over the past couple of weeks. And I try to tell people like, this is, even if we even when, I shouldn't say if, when we solve our next cold case, because that's the mentality that I have. It will never be like this, right? Like, and so I think when you talk and you give those details to the public and to the community and people who are listening to the radio show, the thought and care and the want and the desire to, for no other reason, just to say, we need to find her, because in the back of all of our minds, it's the family, right? No one is doing this for any other reason except, we realize that there's a family that, and again, we can't, control their journey of healing and where they get there and all this stuff. But for us to be able to provide a piece to that, whatever that story is, it's truly amazing. But Jacob, I think I cut you off. You were going to say something?
Yeah, no, I just want to clarify on the sonar readings and the reason why we put the sonar back in. She was amazing at describing it, but the reason why we weren't getting a clear image is due to the fact that the car was about 2 foot to 2.5 feet underwater. So I was never able to go over top of it. So the side imaging never gave me a solid image. Now, and as soon as I was trying to clarify for the people who are listening that when you're side imaging, you're going at a 45-degree angle and you're going out. So all we were seeing was a wall, and then I'd see land beside it. And I'm like, there's something wrong here. There's something here, and I can't figure out what it is. And that's why we had to go behind it. And when we went behind it, I said, well, do you want to drop the magnet and see if we can get something on it? I know there's something here, but I can't ever get a good image. So your down imaging is going straight down. So if you're not on top of that vehicle, you're not going to get a description of that vehicle from the sonar. And she said, yeah, let's go ahead. And as soon as I was getting ready to get up, the boat went over top of it. So I'm going to say that I was pretty close to actually stopping on top of it, is how close the boat was to the car. So as soon as it kind of just moved over just a little bit, and that's when we got the image. So it's crazy how sonar works, but it was a huge blessing that we were as determined as we were, and just to be as thorough as we can, because we knew that there was something there, and we had to figure out what it was.
Yeah, because I know that Andrew and Matt had told me that they were, getting ready to kind of get off the boat and kind of make their way back, and they had told the command post. So, I had, by that time, when you guys got to that area and you didn't know yet that it was a car, I had left the command post. I had to go somewhere, and I just said, okay, keep me posted. And then I got the call from, my commander, and, Heather Lencioni, and she FaceTimed me, and I was like, what? I mean, it was like, these are moments that you're never going to forget. Right. And it's when you put all of this together, right? A cold case, a podcast, Mike Goff, who's a retired officer, connecting with you guys. Like, we've never heard of chaos divers, right? And all of a sudden, here you guys are, right? And now you guys, I hope, are getting, a lot of people interested in who you are and what you do and why you do it, and hear your amazing stories of how you truly help people for no other reason, because you want to, right? And then for that day to happen, how it happened, it's just, I mean, and even when the car came out of the water, the care that you guys took and your expertise and how to do that. We're police officers. We have no clue about that, right? Like, we're just like, okay, get the car out of the water, right? Like, but we need everything in there for our, for evidence and to recover as much as we can. Even to the point where we were able to recover a ring, Karen's ring, and then give that to her family. I mean, what a gift. You can't even, and you think about, pulling an object out of the water after 42 years, and, the deterioration of the vehicle, and the potential for it to break apart, and then for water and all this stuff. And if you don't pull it the right way, or you pull it apart, once it's in the river and there's, the flow of the river, like that, all that stuff is gone. So for it to have been so, carefully thought out. And, I remember that morning, we were there and you guys were planning it, and, it's a foreign language to us, because we're like, you're going to take this balloon and you're going to pop up the car and then we're going to pull it out, right? Like, that's what you guys are doing. But, to what you guys did and how you did it, I don't think people can ever truly understand the scope and magnitude of, because of your care and thoughtfulness and expertise, and truly the professionals that you are. We were able to do this. Without you guys, we would not have been able to do this. There is no way, shape, or form that we could have. It's impossible. So, I think I hope you guys have been getting a lot of people calling you, and maybe I hope it's been a great couple of weeks for you guys too as well. Where are you guys located? You're like, what area of, where are you?
So we are in Southern Illinois. We're based out of Harrisburg, Illinois. I guess if you go to the very tip of Southern Illinois and then drive, I think 40 miles north.
40 or 50 miles.
Yeah, that's about where we are. We are, so Carbondale is not far from us. Paducah, Kentucky is about 45 minutes or so. Yeah. And then St. Louis is about an hour and a half to 2 hours from us. So we're kind of right down here at the very bottom. And so we're based out of here. We actually have a missing person case here in Southern Illinois that Jacob actually was friends with in high school. And that's kind of what got Jacob really started in doing this was this case here. And through that, this has blossomed into, us being able to travel all over, provide answers to families from all walks of life. It really truly has been a very incredible journey. It's heartbreaking. It's heartwarming. There's just no way to really describe it. There's not words. I know that it was an amazing thing when we got to meet Karen's mom, Liz. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell her thank you for, allowing us to help. but also to just tell her that all of these people who would have never met all came together as this big collaborative team as one to help her. And that was because of her daughter. So even after her daughter is gone, she's still bringing people together. And that was something that resonated because so many people talked about how Karen was so independent and she was so fun loving and she was such a great person. And she still is very much doing the same things now that she did when she was here.
Yeah, I think when we, had the opportunity to meet the family, and, I think it really does, it hits home to the fact of that, to what you said, right? All these people coming together that would never have met and, really putting down, we don't have an ego here at the police department. We learn from other places. We know our lane. I'm not a firefighter. I'm not a diver. I'm a police chief. So I know my lane and I stay in my lane. And then I say, hey, everybody else, come on in and let's do this, and I think that, it truly was an amazing time. I think none of us will ever forget it. I think Matt and Andrew are still a little in shock because they're just like, I've talked to them throughout the week and, I just told them like, you guys are just your superstars. I mean, your life will be forever changed just as yours are. I mean, it's just, and mine and all of us, and I think it's something where, when we look back, 30, 40 years from now, wherever all of us are, those 2 weeks, in this time period, what we truly were, this is what humanity is about, right? Be able to give to people and asking nothing in return, just for the pure joy for them, right? And in return, we just get what a privilege and an honor. And I think, I think this story is just something that people will be talking about for a while. And we have a minute left here, so I want to just kind of say thank you again to you guys. I know I'm going to see you guys soon in the next couple of weeks. I cannot express my appreciation to you guys, other than to say you two are amazing. Mike is amazing. Man, just to meet you guys and how you are and your energy and, there's no words to express how thankful and grateful I am to you for what you did to the Schepers and for the Schepers family. And so as we end, is there anything that you guys wanted to just close out here?
I just want to say that you guys give us too much credit with everything. It took a team to get her home, and I'm glad we did it.
Yeah.
So thank you for all your support and trusting us. So
Yeah. Same. Just thank you to, again, Karen's family for allowing us this opportunity to help them in their journey. And thank you to you and, all of your people and you guys believing us. This has been truly, truly incredible. I don't think words can ever describe.
Yep. And welcome to the Elgin community. You are now part of our Elgin community, and you will always have a place at the Elgin Police Department. We are forever grateful. And again, thank you for what you did for us and for the Schepers family. And thank you for joining me this morning. You guys are rock stars down there. I'm sure, when you guys, you're going in the coffee shop, they're like, hey, can I get your autograph? Right. So I hope.
Not all that.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I will see you soon. I hope you have a great weekend. And once again, thank you for everything. And thank you for joining me.
No, thank you.
All right. Take care, you guys.
Great job to the Chaos Divers. How about it, Chief?
Yeah, they are amazing.
I mean,
Beyond.
we had privilege to be there to, when you were doing the actual recovery. And just hearing you tell the story again, I'm getting chills down my spine. And I'm in law enforcement as well as a firefighter prior. And just to hear the story, how, you could have passed by it, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Something drew you to that. Chief Anna Lally knows there's an intuitive feeling you get in law enforcement, like, there's something more to this. We're going to check this out more. And God bless you guys for being able to see that, feel that, and say, you know what, there's something more to this here. I know the way the radar works, we're not getting the image. Great, huge success to what you were able to do. Congratulations. Thank you for helping the Schepers family to getting, a piece of their closure.
All right. Bye, you guys. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Great job,
Thank
Chief.
you. Okay. And then we can,
That's Chief Anna Lally, folks. We will be back in just a few short moments after these messages.